right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, Kapadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi, pushing to get up out of here, Shalom, to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is dealing with the heathens, will be punished. Okay, and this is not a light thing, okay, that the Lord is going to bring to the heathens. Okay, and the Lord, through the Spirit, has set up, these latest happenings, okay, for understanding to come out and to be expounded upon. Okay, because I know, like I say, whenever when false doctrine arises, will edification rise with it. Okay, edification always outweighs the false doctrine. Okay, so as we have it, there's been edification going out about what salvation is, and also what's to happen to the heathen. All right, and you Israelites are trying to make it to be a light thing. Okay, what's going to happen to the heathen? What's going to get ready to happen to the heathen? Okay, you had the beloved brother Elder Manata Zakba, all right, out of GMS, South Carolina. And he did a lesson responding to priest Zabak, all right, and Zabak is trying to water down, okay, what those guys are saying over there in Genesis. He made the statement that the heathen gonna be preserved to serve us in the kingdom. Like that's just, the heathen's just going to, prince in the kingdom and be preserved just to be these domestic servants for us. The heathen's finna suffer. The Lord finna bring suffering to the earth. Okay? From the time of tribulation, okay, to the time of post-destruction, to the time of them being rounded up into captivity, the heathen is finna be punished, man. Okay? The Lord finna bring a punishment to the heathen. Okay, they're not being preserved. You preserve something, that means you have a care for it. No, the heathen finna be punished. Okay, point blank period. It's a big difference. Stop trying to make it be cute. What's finna happen to the heathen? It wasn't cute what happened to us. Okay, so stop trying to make this thing light. The scripture tell us be direct, man. And we're gonna get into these things. So I want to start here. I'm gonna read down because we usually get this. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 21. It says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." So while people, are still able to, enjoy their day-to-day conveniences and, have their day-to-day, okay, normalcy, they think they're in a good case, but they don't understand the evils that's growing on the earth. Okay, they don't understand the civil unrest that's getting ready to unfold, that's getting ready to be the norm. Okay, they have no idea of how bad it's going to get. You see, and this is all the Lord getting ready to bring judgment, man. Okay, verse 22: "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine." People are finna starve to death. Okay, they ain't no being preserved. Okay, you can surviving this tribulation and being preserved is completely different. We're going to be preserved. Okay, Israelites are going to be preserved. Lord will, we of that number, the hopeful elect are going to be preserved. Okay, they're going to be protected in Jacob's trouble. They're going to be taken on those chariots when those nukes are launched and preserved to come down and rule the earth in righteousness and enslave the heathen. We're going to be preserved. Heathen's not going to be preserved. They finna catch hell. And if they do manage to survive the hell, they're going right into captivity when we come down. Okay? But even while we on these chariots, man, the earth is going to be in shambles, man. Okay? These heathens are going, and it's going to go with two. We're going to read it. Because it goes from normalcy, tribulation, okay, post-destruction. All right, then we coming out them chariots, man. All right, so that whole time the heathens finna suffer this time during this time, man. So you read on, it says, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish with famine, and the others that escape the hunger, the sword shall destroy civil unrest." So if you manage to have, goods stocked up and you're good and you know, you have something to eat during this time, guess what? People coming with them swords. So famine might not get you, but you ain't gonna survive all this gun violence that's gonna be out here, man. Okay, this killing and stealing that's gonna be out here, these looters. Okay, these troops, these mercenaries, you ain't gonna survive them. Okay, if you survive the famine. And it says, "And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down." Man, these cities are gonna be torn apart. Okay, these cities are gonna be these cities are not gonna be functional. This is all going into the tribulation. But dead bodies everywhere, which creates true diseases, man. Okay? This the environment, man. This is gonna be the worst time the earth has ever seen. It's a punishment coming, man. We got them preserved, so they can come and serve. No, these folks finna be punished. They finna dwell in torment, says the scriptures say. All right? It says, "There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it." Yeah, these jobs ain't gonna be people working. No, it's over with. It's gonna be a new reality. Okay? So it ain't gonna be, the jobs and functioning. Okay? It says, because there's gonna be people left after the destruction. Now in America gonna be through, but the heathen throughout the world, okay, there's gonna be people that's gonna be left over after all this war. Okay? But after this destruction, okay, ain't gonna be no digital ID and all that's gonna be done. People just gonna be out here, man. Heathens just gonna be in straight survival mode. Okay? So you're gonna have to build up the tribulation, which is the worst time ever. Build up to the nukes, and then after the nukes, when we're in those chariots, heathens still gonna be in the earth. They're not gonna be preserved. They're gonna be catching hell down here, man. Okay? Surviving and preserve is completely different, man. It says, "There shall be," verse 5 says, "The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men." Because there's gonna be so much death that has occurred, man. People are gonna be scattered out. Okay? Gonna be so much war, because nukes gonna hit different places, man. And even the power that these nations have with conventional warfare, World War III is gonna wreak havoc on the planet, man. Okay, you see, and this is the judgment of the heathen. You see, and it says, "For a city," it says, so that one man shall desire. It says, verse 26, "The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, all right, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves, and in the clefts of the rocks, as in the orchard of olives. Upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives," man. So it's gonna be scarce. That's a torment in itself, man. You're not around nobody. Okay, things are gonna be spread out. Okay, I say the earth is gonna be war torn. Okay, America's not gonna exist anymore. The earth had rocked to and fro like a drunkard, so these buildings are gonna be collapsed, man, throughout the earth. Okay, this is the environment the heathen's gonna be in. Okay, this ain't no salvation. Okay, they just got a deal. Okay, because if you could get put to death, you're gonna have to deal with these scenarios as a heathen. Okay, and it says, or as when the vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. So they still gonna be robbing each other, man. Searching the house with the sword. They still gonna be out here grimy, man. Trying to survive, looting, pillaging, trying to survive, man. The aftermath. Okay, and who, you know how long we're gonna be no cherish, man. But these heathens finna have a whole new reality they finna have to deal with, man. Okay, and it says, even so, all right. It says, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorn, because no man travel there through. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. Okay, women finished. Okay, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. So this ain't gonna be, they're chilling, just waiting for us to come down. Okay, they're gonna be on the rooftop having mimosas, just waiting on us to come down, so they can come sweep. Okay, the kingdom. Nah, man. Hell no, man. Okay, they ain't finna suffer. They finna be punished. And the type of work they're gonna do is a manual labor this earth has never seen to build our kingdom up, man. Okay, they finna be broken. You see, and it says, women shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. This third world war. All right, these domestic wars, trying to survive in the cities and trying to survive, in these different states and countries. You know, then the third world war, because it's gonna be a lot of civilians. It's gonna be a lot of civilian casualties in this war. Okay, a lot of civilian casualties, man. Men trying to go out and fend, for the woman and bring home food, and not gonna come back. Okay, these heathens gonna be in a terrible state, man. Okay, then you can't try to make what's finna happen to the heathens cute, man. All right, what's this soft spot for the heathen, man? Okay, then it says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Okay, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord, man. So we should have an understanding on these things and what the Lord is about to bring. Okay, these heathens ain't just finna skip off into the sunset. They ain't gonna be chilling waiting on us to come back out those chariots, man. They gonna be suffering down here, man. It's gonna be crucial down here, man. Okay, and this is all the punishment. And when we come out them chariots, we're beginning with those elites. We're going to round them up, and they're being rounded up for a punishment, man. Okay, let's get this. Okay, so they're gonna be catching hell while we on the chariots rejoicing, getting crowned, feasting, partying. Okay, celebrating, man. They're gonna be down here suffering, man. And we come out those chariots. Okay, they're going straight from suffering, trying to survive, okay, post destruction, all right, to directly into hardcore slavery, man. These heathens gonna go through a hell of a process. It only gets worse from here, man, for the heathen. Okay? So let's go here to Isaiah. This Isaiah let's see, 2024. All right, so this is Isaiah 24. I start at all right, Isaiah 24, all right, and 18 it says, and it shall come to pass that who, all right, that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into a pit, and he that cometh up out of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake, man. So there's no escaping this judgment for the heathens, man. The heathens just gotta deal with whatever the Lord got for them. No escaping. They gotta deal with this judgment, man. Straight pressure. Okay? They finna suffer. So it says it's like if one fled from the noise and fell into the pit, and then okay, they managed to climb out the pit, then they run into a snare, man, showing that look, ain't no escaping this judgment for the heathen, man. Not one. Okay? It said the earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, and the earth is moved exceedingly. It's gonna rock to and fro. All these missiles hitting the earth, man. You know? It said, the earth shall rail to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it's not talking about the earth itself being completely destroyed. It's talking about this it's an infrastructure gonna fall and it's not gonna rise again. Okay, ain't gonna be no post-war construction for the heathen. No, the only time they're gonna do post-war construction is building our kingdom, building our infrastructure. Okay, but in this place, you know, it's shook, it's war torn. All right, ain't no more building this place back up. This age will never come back, never be built back up again. This is it. Okay, so it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings, okay, of the earth upon the earth, man. So this is a punishment beginning with the kings of the earth, which is you Edomites, man. Okay, the elite of Edom. You're the beginning. You're the first crops of slaves, man. Okay? This is a punishment. It's the Lord's offering to punish those that are on high. Okay? And the rest of you heathens, you're going to fall in line. You're going to be gathered up for captivity for a punishment, man. This captivity for the heathen is a punishment, man. Our captivity was a punishment unto us, man. Their captivity is going to be a punishment unto them. Okay? They won't get relief. Esau gonna be done away with after 1,000 years, and the heathen get relief after 1,000 years, man. They still gonna be in servitude. They're not gonna be immortal. They're not gonna be a part of the covenant. They're still not gonna have access to what we have access to. Still gonna be a major difference between us and them. Okay? So nah, man, this is a punishment that's coming to the heathen, man. You can't make it be cute. The Lord don't, and it ain't written cute. Okay, playing all these games and word games and not being clear. Nah, man, we're gonna be clear on what the Lord finna do to the heathen, man. Okay, and it's a punishment, man. All right, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edify once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Kapadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, be a great example to us, brothers. And peace and blessings, salutation, hopefully, shalom.